Now for the fun bit. These are the optimum working conditions. Planned out well, it turned out better. Start lifting?
Start lifting.
Work no area?
No room to move anywhere.
We can shoot that way, this way, or even worse, come towards one of us.
This is the first time we've attempted to replace one of these seals in situ. If we damage that, we're buggered. We can't do anything with it if that gets damaged. This will be the moment of truth, if you boys did a good job or not.
Is there another sledgy down there? Yeah, the fun stuff. I thought the metal's peeling out of it. So today we're removing the engine out of this locomotive. It's up on its hours for midlife. So we basically pull all the major parts off it and put fresh service bits on it. We do carry a lot of people, a lot of places, and yeah, it's vital that these engines are running 100%. We have electrics that run off it as well, so that keeps the air conditioners and the fridges running. So if one of these engines go down, you know, we can start having drama. So we do have one spare loco, but they don't like them off the tracks. As quick as possible. Everything comes through the top, so muffler comes off first, and then yeah, we work our way down.
It's got two per loco, one at the front, one at the back. Both the same size, the V12s.
They fit a lot of engine into a small spot.
Bolts are out, exhaust drains off. Yep. So we're right to go.
Start lifting?
Start lifting.
All good, Tries?
Yeah, you're right.
Stop there, Elliot. Go south. you going? Yeah, go up. Just unhooking this pipe.
He's an up-and-coming apprentice. I think he's just about tradesman now, so he's going good. It's a fairly straightforward job. They come straight out. The engine's where it gets tight. Probably got an inch on both sides.
Damn.
All good.
Hang on.
While it might look like we've got plenty of room under the ground here at the moment, once we get into some of these spaces, it's an underground power station. It was built inside a small cave, so there's a lot of tight space we've got to squeeze into down there.
Here in T1 Power Station, we've got 4 generators, all producing roughly 80 megawatts for a total of 320, and that's enough to power about 80,000 homes across the eastern seaboard of Australia. At the moment, we've got a group out, which is 2 generators, so we've lost 50% capacity in this power station, which has a massive effect downstream. We've got 2 large jobs, which is replacement of a main inlet valve seal, which only happens every 30 odd years. And we've taken out a tandem valve, which without our tandem valve, we can't open the main inlet valve, which allows water into our turbine to turn our generator and produce power.
This is the first time we've attempted to replace one of these seals in situ. In the past, when this sort of work's been done, the MIV's been completely removed and taken off site. The pipe work and the valve don't line up like they're supposed to. It means we're going to have to do a bit of cutting and welding. It could take a couple of weeks before we can get this thing back into service. So it's pretty important we get this thing back into service in the next couple of days because it's a pretty busy time of year. If we lose a generator, it really affects our output and it's going to affect our position in the market. So we've got a crew of blokes down there at the moment inside the MIV itself, so they'll be standing about where those bolts are. So once we get down inside that spiral case, and we're actually working on top of each other, it's a bit slippery and a rounded surface, so you've got to crawl around each other to try and get at anything.
We're very nervous on operating this valve for the first time.
If we're very lucky and it's in position the first time, there'll be no leaks, but there's a very good chance that it's not going to be that way and we're going to have to do some adjustments and the guys in there are going to have a little shower, I'd say. Cold shower too.
One and 5 to go.
So the machine we're working on today is a Caterpillar 657G twin-powered scraper. The entire unit itself is 75 tonnes. The machine has reached full life, so it's come in for powertrain components. That includes transmission, final drives, both engines, all hydraulic cylinders and a complete rehose.
the right conditions, there's very few things can move dirt quicker than one of these. You're certainly the king of the scrapers. It's very important to us these machines are out of the field as the shortest amount of time possible. So, you know, we've certainly put plenty of pressure on the Hastings team to be able to turn it around in the 8-week window.
So we've got our 16-tonne forklift, so we're going to be supporting the front of the tractor here. Using an overhead crane for support on the rear of the tractor, and then we'll be just popping the pins, so using hydraulic power if we need to pop them out. The challenge is just getting the blocks in the right position and ensuring it's firmly secured, so we don't want any uncontrolled movement or things like that as we start taking the weight and splitting the machine. The crane is just set predominantly just for support, but the majority of the weight will be taken by the forklift itself.
So we just got to get the weight off the front. Once we do that, those pins should be pretty much right to come out. But just in case they're not going to be able to get up with a pry bar, we're going to have the crane ready to go, and we should be able to lift them straight out.
So I get a slinger around his racket?
Damn. Just the gasket holding the flanges together.
All good?
Hang on. Okay.
Righto, up slow. You going up? Can I go south yet or?
No.
Not yet.
All right, hey, tiger up.
This engine will have done about 12,000 hours from major overhaul. Yeah, straight up.
Workable area.
Trouble with these locos, everything's tight. No room to move anywhere.
We're getting this cart shaft into a position where we can undo all the bolts, and once that's free from the motor, we've got a couple of engine mount bolts left to go, and we'll yeah, it'll be ready to lift out.
No, I'll have to get in there with a bar and crack them with a bar. The little rattle gun can't do it. Success.
Yeah, so we can't afford to have this engine go either which way once it comes off the mounts. Once we take the weight, if we haven't got the crane centered, or with the amount of weight that it's got, it can shoot that way, this way, or even worse, come towards one of us. Yeah, my bolts are out.
Yep, go up.
Keep going. I've got a fair bit of room here.
It's this pipe here.
Blue one, yeah. Yeah, it's tight. So she's going to seal.
Well, it to be positive and say it's going to be 100%.
That's a spirit.
That's a spirit.
I think when we turned the water on, I was standing behind one of you blokes.
Yeah.
Good on you.
We're attempting to do this in situ. It really cuts down our time for outage. So if we were to actually unbolt that MIV and take it away, we're talking about 3 or 4 weeks just in undoing bolts. Got total confidence in the guys. We've been working on this for 3 weeks now and they've really proved themselves to be a top-notch crew. We're just removing the clamping blocks that hold that seal in place so we can install the O-ring behind that helps with the sealing process.
With all 4 units running, we're moving 80,000 tonnes of water at 13 kilometres an hour, which creates a lot of power.
The wash marks here. See the groove where the O-ring is going to fit?
Yeah, there's 2 decent splits. Yes, yeah, we're going to do that now before this is the final clamp up.
Final clean up, vacuum the holes out. Pete's trying to fit the O-ring in now. If that all goes, we'll glue her up. And then we can start putting the segments back on.
If you do go in the control room, can you please turn the oven on?
Yeah, Pete's going to warm his pie up.
I can do that for you, mate. One thing I'm able to control on this place.
I think the most important thing I got out of all that was I've got to go upstairs and turn the oven on and they'll probably give me the sack. If we don't have the tandem valve, the MIV won't work. So if we don't have the unit rotating, then we've got no hope of making any power. That's what we're here for. Who's going to be the dogman, Blakey? Do you want to do it? She's an ugly looking green. We'll have to do now though. I'm too short. You want to get this tip on? I'm too short, mate.
I think we're going in.
You want to around the outside though? If we damage that, we're buggered. We can't do anything with it if that gets damaged.
Shall I get a slinger around it, you reckon? Yeah. What weight you got on there now? 400. Got a bit of weight on it?
Is there another sledgy down there? Hopefully the top one won't be hard. It's just with the misalignment and things like that, so it's just a matter of trying to line it up and free the pins up. Oh yeah? The top one came out relatively easy compared to the bottom pin. So basically now we're just hooking up the crane to the around the transmission area to help support the rear of the machine, and then we'll just slowly start feathering it out and walking the front off the scraper. Yeah, it's come quite well, yeah. Yeah, the fun stuff. We'll just use a 5-tonne overhead crane and yeah, a couple of suitable chains. How much we got? Go 2 tonne. Yeah, go down. I'll just go underneath and have a look. Yeah, just a little bit of a tight squeeze, so we're just having a little bit of an issue at the moment, just with regards to finding the optimum position for our spreader bar. So it's just basically lifting the front a little bit higher and just dropping this back left-hand corner. Just maintain that speed, mate.
Yeah, it's tight.
We'll just get it lined up with this frame. Touchdown.
Now we've got to start stripping the engine. As once we get the heads off, worst case scenario, it can be a damaged liner, depending how bad that is. Sometimes it's got to be replaced. Oh, in the railway, 45 years. In this particular section, probably 13 years or so.
So I think there'll be a big party when he goes. I don't know if we'll be excited to see him go or sad. No, you don't want it to break. That's why we do this sort of maintenance now, so that we don't have any major failures. We've been having high charge air temp issues and high exhaust temp issues with this engine, and something like that can be a prime cause of it. You know, we start losing boost pressure, it puts more fuel in, and then we start getting these alarm codes. And something like this isn't easily diagnosed in the locomotive. Makes you happy you found something that by the time you get through 12 of everything on a V12, it takes its toll on you. 12 heads, 12 injectors, 12 everything. Any damage we see from here down it starts getting expensive, starts getting a fairly major job, so hopefully we don't see anything too bad there. We've got a rolled O-ring here.
Breaking alternator bracket, you see it? Cracked through. That's a coolant leak out of the exhaust manifold. Sometimes they crack through there. What are they? $15,000 or $17,000.
If we damage that, we're buggered. We can't do anything with it if that gets damaged. The crane hook's good for 10 tonne, the small hook, so we've got plenty of capacity there. There was a bit of a crane lifting gear failure and it fell on the exciter house and it caused all sorts of damage, so we're definitely going to try and avoid those. She's a pretty hard hole, we've got to drop it into it. So I'm just going to tie a tag line on this as we drop it down, so we've got a bit of control over it so it doesn't bang into anything on the way. We're going to drop it down 4 floors onto the valve floor. Now we've got pressurised fire lines. We've got components that could be damaged. Safety's always number one around here. It's the first thing we think about when we start a task. If it was to fall, it could damage plant, it could injure people. It's all yours, Jonesy. There's some major crush injury potential there, and there's a lot of sensitive plant down there and high pressure water pipes, so if it was to fall on one of those, you've got to potentially spray water everywhere, and that could cause all kinds of dramas as well. We'll see how this clamper job's gone. We'll get sand and put a bit of water on and Hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't get too wet. This will be the moment of truth. See if you boys did a good job or not.
Half pressure to start.
I think we're just going to go straight to full.
Copy, Lance.
Copy there, Sam.
Yeah, mate. Let me know when you want me to start opening this valve.
Righto, mate. Start her up. We'll go to full noise.
Fully open now.
Oh, shit.
Just maintain that speed, mate. Lower him down. Lining up the final drive, so we've got to drain it. So in order to pull the transmission out, so we're going to pull the transmission and bevel gear at once. So we just have to pull the axles out. So basically, just draining the oil so we don't have spills. What we've achieved in this shift was we've split the scraper from the tractor, and on the scraper side of things, we've removed the rear engine. All went really smoothly. Where the white paint is, that's where we found some cracking after we separated the machine and the scraper. What causes the cracking is just fatigue over time and just wear and tear generally.
They work hard, and that reliability and uptime is critical to being able to keep our projects moving forward at the rate that we require.
The teeth will wear eventually. We've got different sections basically that look after different areas. So the GR workshop, which is what we are, will disassemble and assemble the machine. The component rebuild sections disassemble and assemble the components as required.
I'm working on the oil system of a C15.
Ready?
Up we go. Is it all right?
Yeah, it's all right.
There you go. And you got one tight yet?
Yeah, I got one.
You get a lot of enjoyment out of seeing the engine finish up. Go to the engine dyno, make a bit of power, make a bit of noise. If everything goes to schedule and the dyno provides with a good report, then within a couple of weeks we will hand it over to the GR boys to have it installed and they'll live test it.
We're currently at the stage of refitting the transmission and bevel gear to the scraper end of the machine and to fit the front spindle assemblies as well. Just trying to adjust our spreader bar so we can lift the assembly sort of at a semi-level position. As we lift it into the back of the machine, we're going to go in level and then scoop the front down to get it into the bevel gear housing itself. A bit difficult to level this just due to the fact of the centre of gravity and having the weight of the bevel gear on the front as opposed to the transmission itself. Fun and games.
Righto, mate. Start her up. We'll go to full noise.
Fully open now.
Oh, shit. Pull up there, mate. Pull up. That wasn't meant to happen. Lights out. Looks like we got a leak.
Wasn't exactly the outcome we were hoping for, but I can't say we didn't expect it to happen, but Just get in and give it a few tweaks and hopefully we can sort it out. Instead of using old logs, we've actually got a couple of bits of pipe we're going to roll it across the floor with. We've got a bit of uneven ground, so if we use regular skates, it wouldn't work. It's a fairly heavy bit of gear, but Jonesy's been hitting the gym this week, so I think we should be okay.
Yeah, good enough for the pyramids, good enough for here. Oh, hang on, I might get that small one, but just take it steady. Yeah.
We're just talking the bolts initially on the spring rings. We've walked out the spring, right? But we don't want the rubber to walk with it. So we don't want that rubber to bunch up to go to leg point. So it's really important we do this evenly. We're not using torque wrench just because we want to get a feel of it while we're tightening it, because we're compressing rubber.
Straighten her up. Oh, they're all stuck in there now. That's it.
Oh, going uphill, are we?
I think we're hitting that stage.
That's a coolant leak out of the exhaust manifold. Sometimes they crack through there. What are they? $15,000 or $17,000 or something.
Broken alternator bracket, just see,
Crack through. We'll have to send that over to the welders to be fixed.
It's never good news to find something broken, but now is the time to find it. And one of these engines would never go back into service with a fault. So we will fix anything that we find here. We don't patch anything up or anything like that. It just gets done properly.
The sole role is providing safe, reliable rolling stock. And there's a passenger train travelling between here and Cairns at in some sections 160 kilometres an hour, so everything's got to be done right.
It's the delays that it can cause if something fails on one of these trains. Like, you know, we'd have to try and get it to a siding or something like that to get it out the way for the main line, freight, coal, and other passenger trains. It gets pretty serious pretty quick. What we do is put hydraulic pressure in the centre of this hub and expand it till it pops off the taper of the shaft. So we'll put up to 40,000 PSI in it. If something goes wrong with that, yeah, you're in a lot of trouble. And now we'll start pressurising it. You got to take a lot of precaution when you're working with this because of the amount of pressure. Like, oil will pierce into your skin, it gets into your bloodstream. So yeah, you don't want any of that. That was it. That's done its first movement. That's the hub. It's a trial and tested thing, so hopefully it works today. Yeah, down a bit. Like everything on it, it's heavy. A couple of blokes won't be able to lift that. Tilt back.
Tilt back?
Yeah. Righto. Straight out.
Coming out.
A bit difficult to level this just due to the fact of the centre of gravity and having the weight of the bevel gear on the front as opposed to the transmission itself. Fun and games. Did you want to see how much angle we can get rattling that back. I'll just take it east, mate. Poetry in motion. Going up, mate. Go a bit more south. So we've just engaged it on the studs, on the bevel gear housing. So now we're just making sure that the pipes inside for the input shaft are all lined up as well. And then we can hopefully move forward and push it in further. Just the fine little adjustments that we need at the end is mainly the key aspect to it. Reese is just fitting the nuts now, so we'll put at least half of them on and then we can let the weight off a bit and yeah, carry on and fit the remainder of the nuts and torque them up.
Boilermakers have come in and they've stress relieved this area of the machine with heat and welded all the cracks for us to come in and reclaim all the bores back online. So everything we do now will realign the hitch and make it back to new. I suppose when they get to this life that you start to see a few cracks, depending on the age of the machine and how hard a work it's done. It's copped a fair bit of load and stress in its life. It's like the metal's peeling out of it. I don't know what it's like on this side.
Yeah, it's just as bad.
That's never been welded.
No, that's a bit tough.
We've just uncovered, it looks like a cavity of some sort in the casting. So we've got to get rid of it.
I think we're hitting that stage.
We're hitting that pipe also. That's why we're having a bit of trouble.
Righto. We'll do some rigging now.
The next set now, we're going to lift it up with a block of tackle here. Try and sling it onto its plinth. Get everything to line up, and if it drops in place, it'll be good. Hopefully we don't break anything because there's not enough one in Australia. At this point now, we're sort of relying on our lifting gear and our wits. If there was some block of tackle or sling failure, get some real dramas here. That's what's jamming it up at the minute.
So can we lift it up a bit on this one though? Or not?
Well, that's going to make it worse. Get a little bit of movement there. Yeah, hold it there. Beauty.
That's it.
Success. Nice work, mate. Now we've just got to hopefully get these pipes to line up without too much drama and we'll be kicking goals. Yeah, mate, I'll get you to turn that valve on, please, and get us a bit of water pressure up here.
Okay, water on.
Here we go. Is that fully open?
Yes, confirm, full open.
Hey, nailed it, mate. He's nailed it. There's not a single leak. I can't believe it. The boys have killed it. Done well, mate.
Well done.
No, nothing. You boys have smashed it. A couple more little things to do and we'll be ready for a test. So once we get the water on, we'll actually be able to operate this valve, which will lift up and down. We'll actually see the MIV open and close. So you'll see these lever arms operate, and that's when we'll know it's been a success. And hopefully we don't get sprayed with any water.
That's right, you're ready to start now. Yep. Cheers.
Well done. But opened and closed, did everything we wanted to, so it's a success. 3 weeks worth of work. The team's all pulled together really well and got it done, and we had a little bit of a delay, but that's all right. Everything got back together, it's all been quite successful, everything works, so I call that a win.
Tilt back. Righto, straight out. That was the last big bit. It's great news. We can start rebuilding it.
There's 16 holes. We've got to get bolts in through this Kussel coupling line up with the mating holes in the flywheel. Right, round a bit more, Elliot. You up, over there.
Basically the same as coming out. There's minimal room going in and out. Damage the logo, we could damage the engine, we could pull wiring harnesses, could do all sorts of damage to it. That will cause fairly major delays if something like this got hung up in the roof.
Want to come west? East?
East, just a slight.
You okay to go down?
Yeah.
Okay, Luke?
Yeah, mate.
Coming down.
Touchdown. No, the engine's in, it came in fine. We didn't have any issues, so we'll bolt it down now and plumb it all up.
The bolts are pretty fine tolerance, it's pretty tight. And so yeah, that 5 or 6 mil is enough to make it not go in.
Maybe if we can get an old bolt in, then we'll get a new bolt start on the other hole, and then get the old bolt back out. Well, the bolt's gone in. It's holding the mount in place. So we'll get the 2 bolts sitting in there and then lower the engine back down. Beautiful. Yeah, well, we got the engine bolted back in now, and it's we're really happy with how everything went. Once we've got all the other little bits and pieces done to this thing, it'll be doing 160 back up to Cairns.
I thought the metal's peeling out of it. That's never been welded.
No, hasn't been touched.
It looks like a cavity of some sort in the casting. We've got to get rid of it. We've just taken a rough cut through the top 3 bores, and we've just hit a defect in the casting. Because it's a poured structure sort of thing, man-made, there's a lot of sand cavities and defects in the casting, so yeah, we're lucky to find it. If we had to weld it over it, it would have caused a fault. We're going to have to remove the defect in the bore, and to do that, it's going to take a couple of hours, and hopefully we get a clean bore so we can weld it up. I hope we don't come across a bigger patch in that bore I don't know what we're going to do if we do. We'll just have to keep going. The more we take out of it, the more we're going to put back in, and potentially the more defects we can find.
So this is our right-hand front wheel group spindle, and we're just going to lift it up and rotate it horizontally and lay it down, adjust the chains, and then we can install it onto the machine. They're about 600 kilos assembled like this, and with the wheel and everything on, they're about 1.2, 1.3 tonne.
Keep it coming. Blow up, whoop.
Once we got the orientation right, she's fallen straight in.
We're in the transmission test cell. This is the front transmission, weighs 1.6 tonne, and it's 8-speed forward, 1-speed reverse transmission. We're going to test lube pressures, clutch pressures, flows. All went to plan, no metal generation, all the flows are in spec, clutch pressures are in spec. Yeah, so we'll get this one out into the workshop and get the diff put on there.
We overcome the bit of a problem in the castings earlier on by just machining it out another mill, and we're all back on track.
The next step in the process from here will be to fit the front and rear engines and cooler packs, and basically go ahead and plumb all of the components up from there. From there we'll fit up the electrical side of it, so the harnesses and things like that, and then we'll send it down to the paint shop. The deadline for the scraper itself is looking fairly good. The team that we've had on this scraper has been great, so all the way from the management all the way down to the guys on the floor, everyone communicates and gets along and just get the job done.